known as the early advice. Now, the third update in Australia regarding the recall always is more clarification on the timing for release of recall information by the TGA. So the recall information is released on the second business day, like it is published by the TGA on the second business day following the agreement to the recall strategy. But it's not always the case. In some cases where there is a high risk circumstances, such as an imminent life-threatening scenario, or so an aerial notification may be considered. So the TGA also would, in addition to that, would share recall details with the overseas regulatory agency, if appropriate, of course. So this is regarding the timing for release of recall information by the TGA. The fourth update in our guidelines, the same guideline, is about the refined recall reporting. Now the official report that is required from the manufacturer. So the reporting requirement, the TGA here was a little bit more flexible, giving a little bit more time to the manufacturer for this release of this official report regarding this the recall. So they give flexible time frame, typically including an interim report at 6 weeks and the closeout report at 3 months or any other agreed time. This depends on the communication, but generally 6 weeks and closeout report 3 months. So the mandatory 2-week progress report has been removed. So previously it was 2 weeks. Now there is more flexibility. We have 6 weeks. And the fifth update and the last update today in this guidance of recall in Australia is, again, bringing additional clarity around the definition of recall actions of a third class. So what is the recall action of third class? A situation in which use or exposure to a deficient therapeutic good will not cause adverse health consequences, or where the probability of minor adverse consequences is remote. So this is why it is a class 3 action, recall action. So they are typically concerned with matters other than product safety. However, it's still neither recall, okay, classified like class 3, but still neither recall. And because if not rectified, this situation may present in the future hazards. Like, for example, an example of this class 3 recall action would what situation would be concerned with that? It's like a faulty packaging or mislabeling issue, something like that, which is not safety, which is not like a matter of safety, but could happen because it's misleading information. Okay, that was all regarding the 5 updates in this guideline for the recall procedure in Australia. Yes, exactly. So the next country is Colombia, and the update is related to audit and certification requests. Here, we're gonna go just quickly because it's just simple information, just to notify that there is an update regarding the form or template for requesting audit and certification in this country. Can access this in the website of Envima, have this template that can be used. I will see if I can show you. Oh, no. Oh, okay. I just started recording. Forgot to record for Australia, but no problem. We are just in the second country. We still have a lot of information to share. Okay. So just a template in an Excel format that you can find in the MVMA website. So after that, we'll go to the update in Costa Rica. This is very interesting update regarding the regulation of dental whitening system. So what's happened with dental whitening system in Costa Rica? Here, so in April, beginning of April of this year, the regulatory authority in Costa Rica published a new announcement about this dental regulation of dental whitening system. So we know, or what's happened is the situation in Costa Rica is that this system have been classified as medical devices of class 2 since 2005 by the regulation of medical devices. But there was some ambiguity regarding that leads to like a different scenario. Some can register these devices as cosmetic, another as medical devices. Other company both. They registered all as medical devices and as cosmetic. So what is the problem? That was an ambiguity. So this happened since 2005. And now with this communication, it comes to clarify that point for once. So now this system, dental whitening system, will now be regulated as medical devices only. And only the whitening toothpaste and mouth rinses, which with an approved whitening agent that are accepted by cosmetic, this depends of the percentage. Only this one will remain under cosmetic regulations. So the other whitening system, which are more professional, this will be definitely a medical device. So what is required from the manufacturer for products that are currently registered under both medical devices and cosmetic, or only under cosmetic, but they don't have like a adequate characteristic? The stakeholder must notify the change of classification and register their product as medical devices in compliance with the regulation of medical devices in Costa Rica. So now it is clear. Okay, still in Latam. Now it's Cuba. And in Cuba, our update today is related to medical devices with protective function. We'll see what's this about. So on mid-March of this year, the SESMED, which is the State Center of the Control of Medicine Equipment and Medical Devices in Cuba, published a resolution detailing the specific requirement for the registration of medical devices that have protective function. And this began effective since last 19 June 2024. So this apply, what are these medical devices with protective function? So this apply to surgical masks. You all know what are surgical masks. Self-filtering mask or respirator with particle filter, with or without exhalation valves, intended by the manufacturer to use like in the hospital or healthcare facility for medical purposes. Then we have bidirectional masks, Also known as dual mask. This because it's a combined like characteristic of surgical mask and self-filtering mask or respirator. The first two devices that we mentioned. And finally, the last device with protective function is the radiological protection devices that are generally used in healthcare setting also. And so these are also used to protect the patient regardless of the or whether they also protect the health worker or not, but it's like thyroid protector glasses for dental radiology, etc. Okay. So what are the requirements for this for the registration of these medical devices with protective function that we just listed? First requirement is the declaration of standard. So the national and the international standards that are applicable according to SESMED, or a similar or equivalent standard accepted based on the product's country of origin, so should be submitted. Okay, so it's a declaration of standard, national and international as decided by SESMED or similar ones. The second requirement is certification of tests. So the test must be conducted according to specific standard and internationally accredited laboratory. Okay. And the third point is the mask testing. This is for surgical, self-filtering, and bidirectional mask intended for healthcare use. So the mask, the test, must be performed on finished products or samples. And I think this is the last requirement is about the labeling. So any project, final artwork, photo, samples in Spanish or English showing the tip of device and compliance with international labeling standards are required, especially for respiratory protection masks. So yeah, this is basically the requirement and the clarification of what are the medical devices with protective function for interested stakeholders in this area. Now we switch to Asia again, and we are in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, the update is related to Medical Device Information System, or what we call MDIS. So the Medical Device Division in Hong Kong has introduced this new system on April of this year, and this will be very straightforward system that will offer one stop of e-services, online service for to submit online application for listing of medical devices, and also for report of safety alert and adverse events related to the medical devices. So one stop for everything. Here we can see in this table the key dates of the rollout for MDIS e-services to facilitate like a smooth transition. It's already started, but still have some steps in the late month of this year. Basically for the account registration started in April. In April 15, all the application for listing of medical devices or IVD, inclusion of list of importer, distributor, local manufacturer, all these started on 15th of April, and the phase out date of paper-based submission was already in on 17th of June. For another application like the amendment or renewal or adverse event report, as we can see in the third row. This started on the yesterday, on the 15th July, and still have time for the complete phase out date of paper. It would be on the 16th of September, like soon. But it is important to note that all the paper-based submission will not be accepted on and after 14th of October. This is the last date, and it concerns the CEB, the application for recognition and the conformity assessment and the certification to National Product Administration application. So this is regarding the NDIS in Hong Kong. Okay, so we talked about this announcement and about the table with the transition timeline, but it's important to share with you this information as well. There is like two documents published in the website of the authority together with this announcement that facilitate the process basically for creating the account, the NDIS, and consequently submit an application for listing. So you can access this two documents, and it's very descriptive document that will show you how to, since the beginning, how to open an account, and with the screenshot, all the steps that you should follow for account registration, and the second document for the application for new listing. So it's really good and helpful document. Okay, that was all for Hong Kong. In Malaysia, the update will be regarding the one license for each establishment role. Okay, so we'll see that what happened in Malaysia. We know that we have several license for importer, license for distributor, license for authorized representative. So on April, mid-April of this year, Medical Device Authority issued this announcement. This announcement stated that it's already started from July 1st, 2024. So now the establishment are not allowed to combine licenses application of the activity of manufacturer, authorized representative, importer, distributor, under a single license. So before it was allowed, like one application, and the renewal of this application, you renew all the activity. Now it is not allowed anymore, and so you can apply for you can have all this activity, but you need to have a license for each activity now, not only one license. And if you want to renew, you have to renew each one. Now, what is the situation if you already have these licenses all together? So if you have already multiple roles and want to renew the establishment license, to renew it, you have to choose one of this activity to be renewed, and all the other activity should apply for new licenses. This is the update for, this is the, started already from the July 1st, and but it's up to you to choose which license you will renew, and which ones you prefer to get it like as a new registration. Just 1 second. Sorry. So in Thailand, the update today is related to the registration of alcohol level or volume measuring devices. So on April of this year, the regulatory authority published these guidelines for the registration of alcohol level or volume measuring devices. So first, they clarify that a device that measures the level or amount of alcohol in body fluid if the indication is for medical purposes, it will be classified as medical device. If it does not have a medical purpose, it will not be classified as a medical device. It looks like evident, but sometimes people can or the applicants can get confused. So this is just reconfirmation. Okay, there are some alcohol level volume measuring devices that do not have medical purposes, so this is not medical devices. If they have medical purposes, in line with the definition of medical devices in Thailand, so it should be registered as medical devices. And the same for the second device, like for bread alcohol tester. This is generally the same. If it's not for medical purposes, it's not classified as medical device. But in general, these devices are not for medical devices. So this is the update for Thailand. Very quick, but interesting to get this reminder. And we end up here in Vietnam, and the updates will be related to sample document and report. So we'll see. Last month, on June 18, exactly a month ago, a circular titled Regulation on Forms and Report for Implementing Decree 98/2021 was published by the Ministry of Health of Vietnam. So this circular introduces standardized forms and templates that organization must use for various declaration, report, and application related to medical devices. So this is very, very critical. In Vietnam, they are very critical with the template, the exact names of the way that you call medical device or medical appliance, or they are very critical in the Vietnamese language and the translation also. So here, we are talking about the templates. So they already published these templates. They should be used for several application or several report. And this is they wanted to ensure a consistency and the uniformity across the sector. And to be aligned with the requirements that are already set out in the Decree 98/2021, but was not applied. So yeah, this is regarding the forms. At the second amendment, it highlights, as I said before, it highlights a change in the terminology from medical equipment to medical devices. This is as I said, this was just published, this circular in June 14, but this requirement about the terminology was published before and applicable and enforceable starting January 1st, 2024. And here they just had a reminder and highlighting this information, because many people do not take it very do not consider this very critical, but it is. The application, you get a request of a modification of that, and you have to wait for another 3 months to resubmit this information just because the terminology was not medical devices, and you put medical equipment as was the required before. So this is very critical and can get your application delayed in Vietnam. Okay. Okay. we went through the whole eight country, and now we end up in the European Union. You might also, all I think, we be aware about this change, the new regulation, but I found it interesting to share it with you again here for more clarification. This is the regulation 2024 1816. So this was adopted on June 13 and published on July 9, days ago. And this comes to amend the existing regulation, the 2017-745 and the 2017-746 for IVD. So one of the primary objectives is the gradual rollout of the European Database of Medical Devices, and sorry, just a second. And so this is like, to ensure transparency and traceability. And the transitional provision have been established to ensure continuous availability of critical IVD. So this is to mitigate the risk of market shortage, as we know, during this transition time. And the last point is regarding the regulation mandate manufacturer to notify relevant authority and stakeholder in case of anticipated interruption or discontinuation in the supply of medical devices. So UDAMED, the first point regarding UDAMED, that is a comprehensive database aimed to improve the transparency and the traceability of medical devices in the European Union. It's comprised different electronic system, different aspects related to medical devices, registration, clinical investigation, vigilance, market surveillance, different sectors related to medical devices. We know that several of these sectors are already functional, was completed, but still have some remaining, two remaining, and they are expected to be completed in 2024. However, there have been significant delay in developing the system for clinical investigation and performance study due to technical complexity of this area. So this is the objective of this update now. This is regarding these two sectors that still that were supposed to be completed in 2024, but will be a delay. So the regulation allows for the gradual rollout of the completed systems once their functionality is verified through independent audits. And this phased approach will have the administrative burden to reduce the administrative burdens on manufacturer and regulatory body. So the benefit is like implementing the UDAMED is expected to decrease administrative burden between economic operator. And like this is like maybe it would be expected. We don't have dates for that. They said like when it is ready and all the audits are done, maybe could have another update in the next month for an early completeness in completeness in early 2025, and not now yet. The last and interesting point is related to the transitional period for IVD. So this regulation come to extend the transitional period for IVD to ensure they remain available on the market, to avoid the shortcut. So the transitional days are now extended to 31st of December 2027 for Class D medical devices, to the 31st of December 2028 for Class C devices, and the 31st of December 2029 for Class B and certain Class A medical devices. But there are conditions for this extension. The devices must continue to comply with the previous directive, the 9879 EC, and not uh, undergo like significant design changes or pose no unacceptable risk to patient safety to benefit from the extended transitional period. And the regulation also mandate that by May 26, 2025, manufacturer must have a quality management system in place, and formal application for conformity assessment must be lodged with a notified body by the specified deadline. So this is important to know this specific condition. And manufacturer must inform relevant competent authority and stakeholder and anticipated supply interruption or discontinuation at least 6 months in advance. This is for the notification obligation. This is another point. This is for the notification obligation. It's the last point in this regulatory update for today. So if there is any possibility of interruption or discontinuation of the supply of a device, so the manufacturer are obliged to inform the authority at least 6 months in advance. So we now finish our updates today, and yeah, please welcome any question. We still have like 8 minutes for question today. Please, if you have any questions, share it with us. First, we invite a member of Arazy Group to share their question, and if we have any remaining time, can accept other question from the chat box. Yeah, Ana Lucia raised her hand. Yes,
Hi,
please.
thank you, Imani, for the presentation. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me well.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. I wrote the question on the chat box because my internet is not working very well, just in case. About the update for Australia, I wanted to know if any of the requirements for the recalls are under the manufacturer responsibility. Like,
Um, yeah, yeah. It's always there's always some responsibility on the manufacturer. The manufacturer has, in most of the cases, he has to undertake like a root cause analysis of the problem. So you have the recall process in course, but in parallel to that, the manufacturer should start like a root cause analysis to understand what is the problem. They are obliged to do that specifically here in Australia. And when
okay.
they identify this problem, they have also to implement a corrective action. So when there is and also because the authority may schedule an immediate inspection to the manufacturer. So yeah, they have to. They are concerned. Of course, they are the first one, the main one that are concerned. They have to do the analysis of the root cause, implement the corrective action, and be prepared to a possible audit from the authority.
Okay, so there is a risk of audit. Um,
Yes.
okay, and I have another question about Colombia. You mentioned some new audit requirements and certifications applicable. I wanted to know if these are applicable to foreign manufacturers or only to Colombian factories.
Okay, so this one, it was not like about in Colombia, the one that I talked about, it was not like a new requirement, it's just
Okay.
a new template. Just a new template. And some country, they you should use their template and the most updated one. So this is why it is important to be aware of the publication of each updated template. And this one would be like only for local manufacturer in this case.
Okay, understood. Thank you, man.
You're welcome, Anna. Yeah, we still have another 5 minutes for question. I check the message. Yeah, I can't see any other question in the in the chat message. Okay. Is there any question for today? If not, so thank you so much for joining us today to our meeting for July. You are always welcome to join us in all our meeting updates. Hope you enjoyed and learned a lot with us today. Thank you and goodbye for now.
Bye. Thank you, man.
Bye.
See
Thank
you
you,
next
Iman.
month.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Iman.
Bye.